Oh my goodness.
Since you're heading off to school,
Yeah.
I got you this Brita.
Dad, I just got a zero water.
But we always use Brita.
Stop. I'm watching my own commercial. Why am I watching my own commercial? I don't want to watch my own commercial. Are we back yet? I don't know if y'all can hear me. Hang on. I can't get back into the stream. Am I not on? I may not be on. It says I'm on. Okay. So, one Raz, can you hear me and see me? I think this is one of those things where the stream is like off in the netherworld. Okay. Well, let me see if I can get back into it. I mean, I can see the chat, but I can't interact with it just yet. Hang on. Okay. There, now I can see the stream. Oh my goodness. 4 of you are just diehards and stayed here. I wonder if I can see the, hang on. Clearly I don't stream very often. Oh boy. Okay. Let me see if I can get the chat up on the screen again where I can see it. Hi, Mike. I think I ran everybody off with the technical difficulties. Streaming is hard. Yeah, it's almost 11 o'clock here. Let me see what I can see in the live dashboard for this stream of doom. Well, it says the stream's okay now. But given the late hour, I think we'll just let this cube keep going. I wasn't expecting the cube to take so long to print. I was thinking it was I was thinking it was like a standard 20 millimeter cube. It's a 40 millimeter cube, so the print time on it is probably going to be another hour and a half. It looks like it's about a centimeter up so far, so maybe 9 or 10 millimeters. Let's put this over here. I'm going to try adjusting the light a little bit so that that's not so blown out. Does it look any better? It's not quite what I'm after. How's that? Now it's blown out again. That's the problem with printing with white filament. It's blown out when you try to film it. You said you were here for the cat. Here's the cat. Okay, well. I think I will swap cameras. We're still printing. Still have stuff up. Yep, there's that. Come here, Snickers. Come here. Oh, come here. Come here. Let me get this out of your way. Come here, you good cat. Come here. Come here, please. Snickers. The internet would like to see you now. Will you get out from under the chair? Come here. Aha. There you are. Now the internet can see you. You don't like your back legs hanging down, do you? Come here. You don't like that printer, do you? You don't like those noises. He is not ready for his close-up at all. Yeah, Snickers doesn't really care to be picked up either. He'll tolerate it for brief periods. You know, this cube is still printing happily. I think there are some things that we can do to make the printer a little bit quieter. But, yeah. Hang on just a second, folks. want to see if the stream URL still works, and it doesn't. I don't know. No, the URL is different. Let me see if I can find out what the new URL is. Interesting. I'm going to send this link over to JT. All right, let's see. Okay. Happy Jumpy Kitty. See, mine's just sitting down on the floor over here. Kitty cam. Printy cam. Let's see if I can get that in focus. I think that's blurry right now. There we go. Oh, goodness. Goodness. Is it considered bad form to click like on your own stream? I just did. Well, there's 10 of us back in here. Awesome. Oh, just lost one. Hey Vince, welcome back. I don't think I'm going to print anything else on this tonight, just because this cube is taking so long to print. But I do want to let it finish because I want to see how the G-code that they provide with the printer, how that prints. And yes, I forget who said, but this cable does need to go around the back of all this. I'm going to make a list of little issues and send that to Bill from Sovol so that they can get some of those taken care of in production. Snickers, please do not bite my toe. All right, let's see. What speed am I printing at? I don't know, One Raz. This is the cube G-code file that came with the printer. It came with the micro SD card. So it's an XYZ cube. The STL file is also included on the card, but I don't know what speed it's printing out. If I had to guess, I would say maybe 40 millimeters a second. But I don't know for sure. I think I would put this on par with the Ender 3 in terms of sound level for the kinematics. I think the cooling fan in the electronics box is louder. And I don't know if that's just because the whole thing is enclosed and that's just the fan on the mean well kicking in, or what the deal is. But I like the size of the printer. I like the height. It's interesting that it's a rectangular bed, 240 by 280, I think. I would have assumed that it would have been a square, but it's rectangular. With the exception of the cross member across the top and the beam at the back and at the front, everything else is a 2040 extrusion. These are 2020s. And it's just kind of the regular 128 by 64 bitmap screen, controlled via a knob. Right now, it's closed source, I believe. They're using Marlin, so they know they need to release their source code. And I talked to them on Twitter a little bit, and I think they're gonna release it. I don't know when. Hopefully before too long, because I'd like to take a look at it. And then later on, I will test the thermal runaway and stuff like that and make sure all of that is actually active. And I will test how it behaves with the filament runout sensor. Let me switch back to this view just for a bit. For the price, it's not a bad printer, I don't think. The retail, the full price on it, I think is $350. It's $299 right now on Amazon. There's an affiliate link for that in the description if you're interested in it. They do have a BL Touch upgrade available for it. I think it's like 40 bucks or 50 bucks. And it's got a metal bracket that you mount the BL Touch to, and then you run the wires back along here, and you plug them in on the board. Let me switch back so I can show you this extruder. I'm going to switch the cameras back over to the other one. It's got this nice big gear on it. So I want to say they were comparing it to a Titan or a Titan style extruder. So with that gear, it should be able to force pretty much anything through there. So for like 50 bucks more than an Ender 3, you get a bigger build volume, you get a direct drive extruder, you get dual Z motors, you get a filament runout sensor. So a lot of the things that you would want to do to an Ender 3 Pro are already done, and for less money than it would cost, I think. Are you all still out there, or are you taking a nap? So far, the cube is looking pretty good. Oh my gosh. I'm looking at the LCD. That cube has been printing for an hour. Y'all want me to leave this up? I need to go to bed, but do y'all want me to leave this up with the cube printing? The cube says it's 45% done, so it's going to run for another hour at least. But I'll leave it on if you guys want me to leave it on. Sometimes it can be soothing to watch a 3D printer printing. No sleep for you. So do y'all want to hear my fun theory on what happened with the stream earlier? Okay, so what I think happened was this. I have I guess sort of a USB-C dock plugged into the laptop, because the only ports available on the laptop are USB-C ports, and all of the cameras are USB-A connectors. So I've got little USB-C to USB-A adapters. Then I would like to show one of them to you, but now that I want to show one, I can't find one. But anyway, they're just little black things, about yay big. And I didn't want to have a bunch of those plugged into the laptop, so I'm using this USB-C dock thing that's got regular USB-A connectors on it. It also has a USB-C power input port that will provide pass-through power to the laptop. But it only provides about 60 watts of power. This laptop wants 85 watts at peak, I guess. So as we were streaming and I had OBS running full screen, I could not see the battery indicator because it was hidden, because I'm full screen with OBS. So the battery was running out. It got down to about 4% battery, and I think the laptop decided that it was about time to shut itself down. When a Mac wants to shut itself down due to a power loss or an impending power loss, it takes the entire contents of RAM and writes it to a file on disk, and it tries to quiesce the entire system prior to pulling power so it can hibernate. That's what it started doing right about the time I started trying to create a profile in Prusa Slicer for this printer. And I didn't figure that out until I rebooted it, and it showed kind of a red battery indicator on the screen, and I'm like, okay, great. So I got out the official power adapter, plugged it in, rebooted, and got everything running again, and so that's what happened. Nothing's easy. So let's see. I can come back to this. I guess I should have done story time on this view. So this is one of those glass plates that you just let it cool down, and then you should be able to easily get the print off, I'm assuming, because it's kind of got that little pitted, dimpled kind of thing going on. I'm hoping that it comes off. I think the nozzle was too close to it when I was printing, even though when I homed it and was testing the level of the bed, I had a decent gap. So, yeah, it is kind of an ultra base. I guess it's ultra base-esque. So it's a clone of ultra base because it doesn't actually say ultra base on it. And there is simply a little warning that says, do not touch the heated bed. And technically, if you're touching the glass, you're not touching the bed because the bed is the aluminum substrate beneath. This is simply the print surface. You know what, I gotta say, I am surprised that the batteries in my wireless microphone have lasted as long as they have lasted. I put in fresh batteries prior to the stream starting, and that was almost 3 hours ago. Yeah, Vince, I like the magnetic print surfaces. Now this one is kind of an oddball size, like 280 by 240. So I don't think anybody makes an off-the-shelf flex plate for that. I would have to get something and cut it down. Because I don't think Wham Bam has one in that size. Mike, in addition to the usual PEX, they've also got a polycarbonate surface, a PC surface. And filament really likes to stick to this thing. Whenever I'm removing a print from it, I am afraid I'm going to damage it. It sticks that well. And kind of because of that, I haven't printed a whole lot on it. And they've also got standard PEI stickers as well as the PEX. And Peter sent me the polycarbonate surface and some PEI stickers as well. Ooh, 53% on the cube. Yeah, most of mine are PEX. I've got PEX on my Monoprice Maker Select Pluses. I've got it on the Ender 3. Right now I'm testing the PEI on the Ender 3 Pro. You know, I was thinking I wanted to stream that Ender 3, the Sane Smart one that I bought from Woot. Y'all want me to do that? That's probably going to be really boring because an Ender 3 is a box of parts. This one at least was easy to put together. Everything was already built, you just had to bolt the upright onto it. You know, I think if I stream the Ender 3 build, it's going to be more of just kind of hanging out. And I will probably see if I can find some way to route OBS, kind of a real basic OBS setup through StreamYards, and maybe have some of y'all pop in as well, and we can all just kind of hang out while I put a printer together. That might be a weekend thing, but not this weekend. I still don't have a video made for Monday. I need to make one for Monday. I think it'll be another Tinkercad one. I'm not sure yet. I've got like 3 or 4 scripts that are about 3/4 written. So mostly it'll depend on which one I think I can get done soonest. because I really don't want to take a break from my every Monday release schedule. Yeah, if you get that figured out, Mike, let me know, because that's something that StreamYard kind of needs to be able to do for us, because a lot of times we want to do things like have a multi-camera setup for like one person, and then maybe have some other people hang out and chit chat while things are going on, and be able to switch cameras, not necessarily from the standpoint of being on screen the whole time. I guess I could do it in StreamYard and just kind of move a camera around. Hey, Lightspeed, yeah, it's way past my bedtime, I know. Yeah, Mike, I think Josh was doing XSplit into StreamYard as well. Seems like a lot of the fancier streaming solutions are Windows only. Well, Steven, did you click the bell to be notified? YouTube is not always on the ball when it comes to notifications, though. Hey, David, yeah, it is. It's 57% done. It's looking smooth. Let me move the camera down a little bit. I'm sorry the video's kind of blown out. That kind of happens with white filament. No, I don't think it's going to be time for Windows for me for a while. I like my Mac apps too much. I'll suffer for the cause like I always have for the last 30 years. So I don't know if I can answer a whole lot of questions about the printer, but if anyone has any, let me know. Oh, you got an Apple card? Cool. Hey, TK. TK, look. How is the printer? The printer is actually good. It's very much what the Ender 3 Pro probably should have been. The Ender 3 Pro was a very, very slight upgrade to the Ender 3. They used a 40/40 extrusion for the Y carriage to ride on instead of a 20/40. And they put a mean well power supply on it, and if I remember correctly, the Ender 3 is 12 volt and the Ender 3 Pro is 24 volt, but that's like the only difference between the two. What it should have been is probably this dual Z mean well power supply, a bigger print surface, and taller. The bed on this is 240 deep and 280 wide, and the Z goes up to 300. All the Ender 3s are 24, even just the plain Ender 3? Okay. Hey, Aaron. I'm looking down because I'm looking at chat. I need to, let me try to push chat over there so I can see a little better. If I get on the correct network, I can push something over to, I've got a monitor over there right behind the camera, to which I have attached an Apple TV. There we go. Let me pop out the chat. There we go. Now, I can kind of see chat. Ooh, I'm looking forward to more dragons, TK. I like this one. I've got 2 of them printed out in here. I think I've got the other one over there. Can't see it, but yeah. I like my dragon. It looks awesome, printed in a silk copper filament. Oh, goodness. Looking at the clock, it's almost 11:30. 63% done on the cube. Just kind of cruising along. Oh, and direct drive. Stephen, I didn't mention the direct drive. So, direct drive, dual Z, mean well power supply, larger print volume, filament runout sensor, and it's $50 more than an Ender 3 Pro. So the full retail on this is $350. It's on sale on Amazon for $299. And what's an Ender 3 Pro on Amazon? Like $260, $250, something like that. So, I think. Let me check. Ender 3 Pro on Amazon, $259, $269. So, for $40 or $50 more, I'd get this. Now, the one thing about this, if you're hardcore into open source, it's Marlin based, but they have not yet released their source code, and I want to say it's Marlin 116 or 119 that it's based on. So far, it's printing real nice. Hello, David Phipps. Yeah, they've already got it completely designed to accommodate a BL Touch. They've got a little metal mount and a BL Touch and a wire, you know, whatever the leads are that go to the BL Touch. And there's a spot on this plate to mount it. Then all you got to do is feed the wires around and plug them into the box and load the firmware. They've got the hex file for it. They don't have the source though. But I think they're doing kind of like Creality did, where they're kind of keeping the lid on their source code, and then they're going to release it in the future. Because I was chatting with them on Twitter, and they said they were going to, but they hadn't yet. So, I can't imagine that there's much of anything proprietary in it. It should be relatively easy to figure out what the step values are and stuff like that if you wanted to do it yourself. Just take like vanilla Marlin 119 or Marlin 20 and get the right values for the bed and stuff like that. And I may play with that too. Someone in chat said that, this is much earlier, like a couple, 3 hours ago, said that this has the bootloader already installed on it, so that makes it easier. That makes it a lot easier to update firmware. Come here, Snickers. Come here. Come here. Come here. You want to be on camera? Come here. Come here, Snickers. Yeah, come here. I'll pick you up and people can see you. Come on. Walk under the wire. Around. You are getting picked up. I know you don't care for it. You're the back leg. There you go. You want me to put you down now? I'll put you down. There you go. Kitty cat, meow, meow, meow. You can't be on the internet without a cat. I'm sorry you are allergic. I think he wants out, so let me let him out. Hang on a second. Yes. Get. Who let the cat out? I did. Oh my gosh. "3D printing is still very much like Baymax. I am not fast." I still have plenty of filament on that 200-gram spool. You know, I'm going to have to print something tall on this. adjust the lights a little bit. There. No, it's not quite so blinding on the bookshelf anyway. I don't know, should I print a Statue of Liberty or should I print whatever the current version is of the SpaceX Mars rocket? I don't know. Oh, well, hang on a second. Let me grant you a wrench. As soon as I figure out how. My live dashboard. Somewhere in here is a place where I can manage moderators. I know that such a place exists. Ah, I see. Yep. But when you don't have a stream going, there's a place where you can go to manage channel mods. Now remember, with great wrench comes great responsibility. I had a crescent wrench sitting over here. I was going to hold it up, but I can't find it right now. Who was it that timed me out in Edutech's chat the other day? If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. The sides of this cube feel nice and smooth. Man, I don't know if I can make it to the end of this thing. It's at 76%. But if it makes it before midnight, or if it gets done before the batteries give out in my microphone, yeah, Aaron, everybody's getting resin printers. I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait because I don't have a clean enough, clear enough, kid-free enough, cat-free enough area to be able to do that. It's 11:39. So, y'all have stuff printing? Or are you just watching me? Y'all haven't seen this place off camera. I've got stuff piled up. What does resin smell like anyway, the bad ones? Is it like kind of a bad smell like acetone or nail varnish? Okay, so, all right. Oh. Yeah, I don't like the smell of a nail salon. I walk by those, I take one whiff, and I'm like, salon. Good. Okay. So are you saying it doesn't smell bad? This cube has been printing for an hour and a half. It is 78% done. This definitely needs better cable management. That's one of the drawbacks, I think, of the printer. There's zero cable management for the filament runout sensor. And the wires were kind of tangly back in the back area, trying to get everything hooked up. I think I will use this for a couple of days and make a few suggestions to them. You know, the only thing that I ever printed in ABS was a squirrel cage fan when I was trying to fix that air conditioner, because I wanted to use the attic as a workshop in the summer. And that actually printed well. I used Ziltech ABS white, and it printed really well. I printed it on the Ender 3, or the Ender 3 Pro, I should say. And the only problem was that even ABS couldn't stand up to the temperatures on the condenser side of that air conditioner. This is what happened to the PETG that I printed. You can see this was flat, but it was so hot in the condenser area as this was spinning that the centrifugal force just pulled it out. So it looks like a vase. So now it's full of benchies and calicats and XYZ cubes. Hey Aaron, are you talking about Jim Edutech? If so, yes, I think it's a TiVo something or other. I saw it the other day. Uh, 80%, 1 hour, 33 minutes so far. Y'all think that this will finish in the next 15 minutes? And the ultra base stuff, you need to let it cool down all the way, right? Before you try to get anything off of it. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I'll bump it up to 120%. Definitely increase the pitch of the stepper motors. Well, the nice thing, I guess, about the glass bed is that it's just held on by clips, so I can take the clips off and then I can set the glass down just here on this little work surface, and it should cool off pretty quickly. Hey, Hack Monkey. I did not see you come in. Ah. Lurking about in chat. Y'all know that 3D Print General is here in San Antonio with me now? He moved here. I should see if he wants to stream or something. Not a fan of Ultra Base. This is the first time I've ever used anything like it. The only other time I tried printing on glass is I had bought a borosilicate glass plate for the Monoprice Maker Select Plus, and I could never, ever, ever get any filament to stick to it. So I kind of gave up on that. I tried glue sticks. I didn't try hairspray because I don't have hairspray. But I figured a glue stick would work, but not even that helped, so. Yeah, stuff sticks to build tack. Build Tack TM with the trademark. It's good stuff. I do not know the folks at Geek Out SA. I had subscribed to them for a while and would watch their streams occasionally. But I kind of dropped the subscription after a while. I'm still a big fan of the Wham Bam flex plates with the PEX. I'm actually testing out they've got a PEI sticker, which, you know, PEI is PEI. And they've got a polycarbonate, a Build Tack-esque surface as well. So filament sticks really well to this. Scary well. Like when I print something and I'm trying to flex it to get it off of there, the model tends to want to stay on it really, really well. Wonder if I should turn the knob up a little bit more. Go from 120% speed to 130% speed. It's at 84% already. I like my wham bam stuff. Yeah, they're kind of pricey. If you compare it to the BuildTak magnetic system, magnetic flex plates, it is less expensive to get the wham bam than it is to get the BuildTak system. But it is more expensive to get the wham bam stuff than it is to get the TH3D Studio stuff. Hey, welcome back, Heath. Yeah, I got the stream going again. Apparently, my laptop battery was running out, and it was trying to save everything to go into hibernation, and that's what ate the stream. Yeah, I love my shelves. You know, that goes all the way across to the other side. It's not a built-in, but it looks like a built-in. It fits in this room with 1 inch clearance on either side. It's got a crown molding at the top, and there's 1 inch clearance at the top on either side. Turn it up to 150. Well, we're at 130. Let's go to 140. 140%. 86% done. 1 hour, 40 minutes so far on the print time. It's beginning to draw the Z on the top, so we're getting close to being done. Yeah, the steppers are having a little workout, but it's okay. The extruder stepper is a little warm. The Y stepper is real hot. The X stepper, not so much. That's interesting. But the X has less weight to move around than the Y does, less mass. It's really hot. How hot is it? Let's find out. Somewhere I have a non-contact thermometer. That stepper is running at about 53 degrees centigrade. (51 degrees for the stepper on the extruder. And about 40 degrees for the stepper on the X motor. And the bed is at 50.5 degrees. So this is kind of a handy tool. A company hit me up and wanted me to test this non-contact infrared thermometer And I thought it might be an interesting way to verify the temperatures of things on a 3D printer like the bed and the hot end. Problem is that the hot ends are, if they're wrapped in a silicone sock, you got to take the sock off, but then under the sock, it's shiny, shiny metal, and shiny metal reflects infrared, so you can't get a good reading. This one, though, has an adjustment, because that reflection stuff is called emissivity, and this has the ability to compensate for the emissivity of different materials, including shiny metal. And that worked, but then the other problem is the target area that you want to measure on a hot end is usually about like that. So it's less than half a square inch. And you just can't accurately target that. So my original plan for being able to do a video about it is kind of bust because it's not the right tool for the job. You can measure the temperatures of everything on your 3D printer with this except the hot end. So I even tried the trick of putting a piece of painter's tape on the face of the hot end and it just sort of cooked off, so that didn't work. Well, no, but even with just, you know, raising the axis up and just heating the nozzle and trying to get a measurement of that temperature with the non-contact infrared thermometer, it's just too small of a target. It's got a tripod mount, a threaded mount on it, like for this camera. So I actually had mounted it on this arm, trying to get it super, super steady. And if you got it just right, you could get a reading. But apart from that, no, it didn't do a good job for measuring the temperature of something that big. Oh, I don't know. Oh, Michael, what do you think Kapton tape would... Well, but that's not really the problem. The problem is that the surface area that you're trying to measure the temperature of is just, it's just too small. One of the neat things about it, though, you know, a lot of those thermometers have just one little laser dot. This one actually has two, and it fires two beams at a little angle. So when you get those two dots to converge, that's like the right distance for it to measure. It's more about the surface area of the hot thing that you're trying to measure than it is about the emissivity of it. Set to be a gold box deal at $8.45. I don't know what the price will be. What is the price of it right now where you're seeing that? $2.99, okay. Yeah, that's what it is on Amazon right now. They might drop it 20 bucks. A couple of days ago, like the day after I bought it, when I bought it, they had it priced at $3.50, which is kind of what it says it is, but then it's discounted to $2.99 on Amazon. It was $3.50, and then it had like an instant coupon for 50 bucks. So that brought it down to $300. And then the day after I bought it, when I saw that they had a giveaway for it, and I tweeted about the giveaway, I went and looked at Amazon again, and the price was down to $2.99, and it had an instant coupon for 20 bucks. So it would be $2.79, so 280 bucks. So it might be about $2.80 if they do the gold box deal on it. Just a guess. I don't know what it's really going to be. But if I had to guess, I'd say it'd probably be about $279. And for $279, that's like 20 bucks more than an Ender 3 Pro. And just all the stuff that you get on this over an Ender 3 Pro is worth more than that. Direct drive extruder, dual Z motors, larger build volume in all 3 dimensions. Filament runout sensor, which that sensor actually feels pretty tight. So I don't know if that's something that I would want to use a lot or not. It's done! Ah. Well then, I can move this a little bit, get it out of the way. Let's remove these little binder clips. I guess I can just pick it up by the print and set it down here. We'll just let it sit there and cool for a minute. Here, let me switch cameras too. Look, it's a big blown out thing. Can I adjust the focus on that to help it any? Hang on. Yeah. I guess that's about as good as the focus is going to get, but it needs some shade. White is not a good photogenic filament, which if I remember correctly, that's why Ivan Miranda says that he always started using red, because it filmed well. That's cooling down nicely. Let me check its temperature again. Where did I put my thermometer? Did I put it back? No, it's over here. Why, the bed is down to 42 degrees already. Yeah, white shows every little flaw in a print, but you kind of have to be looking at it in person. Or you have to have a really good, well, I was going to say you have to have a really good camera. You just have to have a camera that isn't really bad. And I think this camera here is probably not the best. I like this build volume though. So, the surface doesn't feel too bad. You get that little scraper thing. Let go. Come on, little raft. There we go. Should I let that cool a little bit more? All right, I'll let it cool. I'll let it cool. I'm just anxious to get it taken off of the bed. I'll quit picking at it. So 1 hour 49 minutes. That probably would have been 2 hours and 10 minutes if I had left that at 100% speed. So, is it done yet? Is it done yet? No, Heath, I don't want to mess this up. If I mess this surface up, I don't have another one. Get this priming line off of here. Throw this in one of my desktop trash cans. Release! Release! By the way, that raft is really smooth. I hate rafts. They don't usually leave a good finish on the underside of the print. Now, I can understand the need for them back when 3D printers were not as accurate as they are now. So it's not cold, cold. It's maybe 30 degrees. Hey, JT, the cube finished. I'm just kind of waiting for it to cool off enough that it'll come loose. I got the edge of the raft up a little bit. But everyone says let it cool. Now the thing about it is that that first layer of that raft was squished in there really, really well. So I don't know if that will affect its ability to release or not. I just want to take it and go, but you can't do that with a glass surface. Sadly, this is unactual ultra base. It's imitation ultra base. It's like I've got the raft letting go pretty much all the way around it. I'm just hesitant to jam it all the way up under the print. Well, then I won't do that. I don't want to scratch it. It already has a couple of little scratches where the binder clips were. Come on, come off of there. Hey, Matt. Plastic wallpaper squeegee. Well, I have a Build Tack applicator squeegee. Hey, Jimmy. Okay, so basically something thin and plastic. I can do that. Ah! Woohoo! Behold the raft. And as I expected, the raft left a kind of horrible surface on the bottom. But that's okay. It printed. Well, that was interesting. And just because the nozzle was too close on that very first layer, you can still kind of see some of the PLA and the little ridges. But I'm guessing that other prints that go over the top of that PLA will stick to the prints probably, so that when it gets pulled off, it will do its thing and it will take everything with it. Well, that's cool. I'm going to call that a success. Put this back on the bed. Just the sound of that glass on the aluminum, it just sounds like it wants to break. It scares me. I am calling this a success. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off just because it's kind of loud. That fan down in the electronics box is hard to deal with. So not a bad printer for 300 bucks. Oh, no, there's actually a gap back here. It's fine. 6 a.m. in the UK. 10 after midnight Central Time in the USA. All right, well, I'm very tired. Let me switch gears here. Donk. Or there. That's better. Get some of this other stuff out of the way. Oh. Well, what do y'all think of the printer? You live in the future. JT lives in the future too. Yeah, it does look like a Creality clone, Jimmy. In fact, I think Sovol sells a bunch of Creality stuff anyway. Mic is low. Is my gain not set here? Hold on. Nope, it's set. I mean, I can boost it a little bit. Test, test. Test, test, test. Is that better? Louder? Okay. All right, I'm out of battery on the microphone. I'm out of energy for staying awake. So I think I'm going to call it. I like the printer so far. Initial impressions are that it's good. And I'm tired. And for the little bit of extra money that you spend for this printer over an, I think it's a lot better value. So that's it. Thank you all very much for suffering through this 4-hour extravaganza. And I am going to try to get a video out for Monday. And we'll see how it goes. Thank you all very much. Have a great night. And I am going to click the stop streaming button.